Robert Zemeckis here is one ambitious project, aiming to tell multiple live stories in a single location across various time periods. A movie with style, but lacking a soul.
I have no soul.
It's a novel concept. One frame, one room, and the generations who come and go within it. The challenge here, though, is that the film bites off more than it can chew. Primarily in the first hour of this film, there are so many lives that we encounter where it brushes over so much important details that you kind of start to not care about what's happening on the screen in front of you. By the time we start to feel attached, we're whisked off to another era, which gives off this whole disjointed and overcrowded vibe. That said, Robert Zemeckis still has the style. The idea of the concept sounds already great. A whole film taking place in one frame. Execution-wise of that in a technical way is extraordinary. What they're able to do, I give applause to the people behind this film who had to especially edit it and had to fit all the VFX around it. Great work. But speaking about technical achievements, one thing that is seeming to be really hard for Hollywood to nail down is de-aging. One film we got last year that I really did enjoy the opening sequence, and I think, if I remember correctly, I somewhat believed the de-aging of Harrison Ford, but the issue with that whole sequence was his voice.
You got a lot of nice stuff. Other people's stuff.
And we have that here. Tom Hanks, when he's supposed to be like 16 or 18 and then 21, does not sound like Tom Hanks when he's 18 or 21. He sounds like he's 65-year-old Tom Hanks trying to be an 18-year-old Tom Hanks. It does not work. And when you want to look up generic blonde woman with lifeless eyes, you're gonna get this image of Robin Wright. She's a beautiful woman, but the VFX around her face, primarily her eyes, felt like AI. This movie, at times, felt like it was made by AI. There are some beautiful gems hidden beneath this rocky, dirty film that has so much to offer to us, but it never quite reaches those heights. This film also leans heavily into the sentimentality at times, almost feeling like Zemeckis is trying to make us cry, like begging us to cry. And instead, I'm laughing because it just feels so cheesy. It's almost soap opera effect. And there are some relatable themes about home ownership and how hard it can be to try to get out of your uncomfortability and take a step forward in making the right decisions to accomplish things for your family. I think a lot of people can relate to that. And that's what I look forward to in certain films. What are you gonna give me as the viewer that's something that I can, one, connect with, that I can feel, and that I can be entertained by? Definitely the relating to, but not necessarily the feeling or the entertaining by it. Because right when you try to connect with these characters, it takes you right into another time period with another family member that might be connected to them, or they're just not. They're just the neighbor, or not the neighbor, they're the new homeowner, or the previous owner from 200-300 years ago, or it's the beginning of time and we're seeing dinosaurs. My biggest issue with this film. Too many ingredients, overstuffed, and there is not enough focus on what needs to be focused on. I'm gonna read off my wife's thoughts about the film, and I'll share both of our scores because we have the same score for this film. She touches on things that I didn't even really notice until after the screening, so all props to her, and I 110% agree with everything she says. I don't want to sound like I'm playing the race card, but it's hard not to notice that the characters of color didn't feel as fully developed as they could have been. Their storylines seemed like they were written with good intentions, but missed the depth and authenticity that comes from real representation. Other movies have done this well by bringing in people from those backgrounds to help shape the stories. Side note, like Coco. I wasn't there for the production, so maybe they did consult others, and maybe the issue was really just limited screen time. But even so, it felt like the other families had more time on screen, even if their stories were equally simple. I'm not trying to come off as dramatic, but it's 2024, and representation truly does matter. In the end, here is a place that's interesting to visit, but it overstays its welcome. 4 out of 10. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this review. It really means a lot. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, but most importantly, do not forget to be blessed.